Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight.
Well, thank you, Freak. Hey viewers, this is the Casual Pro Gamer, finally bringing you the champion video I promised. I know it took quite a while to actually make this video, and I hope you will enjoy it. So, here we go. Our first of 11 champions today is a purely support character, and that means purely support character, so it does not have any damage whatsoever. So not even the basic attacks do damage. This character levels up over time instead of with XP. That means that you don't even need to be close to any minions at any point in the game, because it doesn't do you any good. You cannot gain experience from them, you cannot gain gold from them, nothing at all. Instead of that, you gain gold per second. That means that you will be able to buy your items anyway, even though you have no ability to kill any minion or any champion. As I said, it deals no damage with basic attacks, and to make up for the lack of gold that you would get from kills and mainly assists on champions, you get an assist for each kill within a certain distance. And I don't know what a valid distance would be for normal kills, but that's not really my concern here. So the skills then. I just picked a nice skill set. It doesn't really matter too much. It's about the ID of a purely support character. So the Q, W and E skills are all heals. Only the lasting effect that you would get after a heal, so like with Soraka's heal I guess, differs between the Q, W and E, but you can do a whole lot of healing instantly and then give your target one of these auras, I guess. So the resisting effects would be unique, probably, because otherwise it would be a little bit overpowered. And well, as you can see, you can either give them an armor and aura, armor and magic resist aura, cleanse and movement speed, or a damage boost, lifesteal and spell vamp, which means that you have something for every situation. And then your ultimate, which is currently hugely overpowered, but it gives you an idea of what things would be possible. Level 1 would instantly teleport a target ally to base, meaning that you take them out of the fight and or wherever they are out of the lane, and instantly teleport them to the summoner platform where they will heal up. So level 2 instantly teleports all allies to base, doing exactly the same thing, only with all allies instead of just the target. This means that you no longer target the champion you want, so you can either save your entire team or just teleport everyone back for one champion. But it also means that if you're considering going from level 1 to level 2, you have to consider the fact that you will not be able to target just one champion anymore, which may have its benefits normally. I mean, in a team fight it would be, or it may be, a lot more useful to just teleport one wounded ally to base instead of teleporting everyone to base. And you have to consider that by the time you get to level 2 of your ultimate. So you cannot just automatically level up your ultimate because, well, you can. That's what normally happens, and here you have to make a choice. And then level 3 teleports all allies to their base. That means that you all get teleported to your summoner platform, and all of your enemies get teleported to their summoner platform. And even though it may not seem too useful, it is going to be overpowered, because, well, you are going to use that in situations that are beneficial for you and not your enemy. So purely support character, as I said, and it is a really new thing to have. We don't have anything like this, but we'll just go on to the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you think there should be anything added to it or subtracted from it or changed or whatever, because I will read the comments on this and I will incorporate them in the final video. Character number 2 is a construction worker who, as it says, builds things. So basically builds constructions. Your innate ability is you gain 150% gold, and you do that because you are going to need the gold to build things. And yeah, so your Q ability, you would have to invest some money in it, and then you can build a wall with a certain amount of hit points, probably going to be quite a lot, and it will stay until it is destroyed. So it's kind of like the Anivia wall, but yeah, this one doesn't melt after 5 seconds. You actually have to build it. It takes a few seconds to build, but then it stays up until it is destroyed. So you can either block off one of your lanes with it, or you can block off one of the jungle paths, or, well, whatever. I mean, I don't care what you do with it. So the whole point of it is that you can modify the map, and it will be visible to the enemy probably, and you can just modify the map and prevent your opponents from escaping or, well, going a certain direction. And maybe you can even use it to protect your jungler right in the beginning of the game. So, just an idea. Then your W, with the investment of some gold, you're going to build a chariot, and the chariot just drives to a target, which you have to select, obviously. And it is just going to drive straight to it through the shortest path, and you can damage everything in its path. So it's going to be a long range, but you can also drive it just straight through the jungle and scout with it, for example, or drive it straight along the lane and scout with it, or damage all of the minions with it. And I'm not sure how strong it should be or whether it should be doing something else, but it's just an idea of making an AoE damage that doesn't just do damage to some little region in front of you, but it actually can drive through the entire jungle or something like that. Of course, it can be destroyed on its way, but yeah, you would have to do more research on this, obviously, to see what's actually good. Then your E skill. Your E skill is actually the cheapest one here, because the gold doesn't level up. You build an activated charge, which is kind of a mine, and usually all of the mines are detonated upon someone walking into it. But here, because it is an activated charge, you have to select it and activate E again to detonate it when you want it to detonate. So you can also put multiple of them in the same location and then explode them when a champion is near or something like that. I don't know how to use it. It's just a new kind of concept. And all of these things can be relatively easily implemented, because all of these things are already existing in the game. They're just not used in this particular way. So then your ultimate builds a robot pet, which can be healed, and it doesn't time out, because all of the pets for some reason time out instead of just needing to be destroyed. And you can of course only have one robot at any time. So you can control him just like the Tibbers on Annie, or the well, there's plenty of them. The ultimate of Shaco, I don't know what it's called, the clone or something like that. You can control him with your Alt key and just send him in to do whatever you want. And if you don't send him wherever you want, he will react on his own. So a nice scala of different abilities, I guess, and they kind of feel like a construction worker to me. That's why I put a construction worker in here. as a third character, we have a merchant who sells items at 100% of the initial cost. So obviously there has to be an exception made for the gold items. Either you cannot buy them or you sell them at less of a percentage. But in general you sell items at 100% instead of 70%. And that is because of the active innate. So the first one with an active innate ability. You have to press T to use it. I don't think that T is actually already used as one of the skills, but I'm not sure, obviously. So with your innate ability you can copy skills of target champion, and you can select any champion you can see. So you can basically select anyone on your team or the enemy team, and you can use it multiple times, so you can copy different champions. And that's also why you need to be able to sell your items, because maybe in the beginning you're lacking some tanking power, so you want to copy a tank and then you want to buy tank items. And then later in the game you want to copy one of the I don't know, carries or support characters, and you can copy their skills. You can copy all of the skills except for the innate ability, because you already have an innate ability that allows you to copy skills. So you're not going to be a complete copy of the champion, but you are going to have all of the activated abilities. So as it says for Q, W, E and R, if you are copying yourself, so if you target yourself with your innate ability, you gain 1 gold, or in the case of your ultimate 2 gold for each skill level. So you can basically gain more gold. And otherwise you're going to have the Q, W, E and R of the copy champion. So it's a really simple concept, and I think it would make wonderful playing experiences, because it will allow you to basically play multiple roles in your team in one game, and multiple champions in one game. So I think this would be a really popular champion, and I would definitely play this one, and I would play him a lot, because it seems like it's a whole lot of fun. So once again, let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, moving on. So the next champion is Bruce. He's a ninja, obviously, and Bruce will actually incorporate some of the things that an actual ninja should have, and instead of just being, well, having some ridiculous skills that don't really feel right with the flavor you're trying to bring. So first of all, ninjas are supposed to be invisible, so Bruce is invisible while he's in the grass and not attacking. And if he leaves the grass for the next 2 seconds, he will be invisible as well. Of course, all of this is while not attacking, because if you would be able to attack someone while being invisible, that would be totally overpowered. Instead of gold, Bruce receives experience. That means that at the beginning of the game, instead of having 475 gold, he receives experience. And he has no maximum level. But all in all, for everything you read here, it means if you're not getting gold, and you're not getting gold in the beginning of the game, you're only getting experience, it means you're not going to have any items. 0 items, because ninjas don't need items. Ninjas work with their hands, like a true Bruce Lee. Yeah, your three skills can be leveled up, well, infinitely basically, because you have no maximum level. You can choose between short range big damage, medium range medium damage, or long range with small damage, to basically give you the ability to either go for a ranged character or for a for a melee character. But if you're a melee character, you're going to do more damage than when you're a ranged character. It is the way it is. I mean, that's always the case, and that is the case in this with this ninja. So your ultimate, I only gave the first 7 levels. You can basically level it up until you're satisfied with the thing it does. And I just took some, relatively random suggestions here. I did think about it a little bit, obviously, but you would have to make a nice list of things you can actually level up to. So first of all, level 1, it adds damage over time to all of your attacks, so no matter whether you pick Q, W or E. Then second level is it gives you slow. The third level gives you an area of effect. But if you're taking level 3, that means that you do lose the slow and the damage over time. So you only get the thing that's next to the number. So you don't get to have all of it. Then level 5 you cannot be slowed and you gain tenacity 50, which is a lot more than you would get from normal items. Level 6 is magic resist, armor and tenacity aura. So all 3 of them are auras. Not actually sure whether I planned it like that, but well, I don't care. Probably magic resist and armor and then a tenacity aura. And then I think this one needs to be moved up a little bit, but it doesn't really matter for this. You gain an additional damage and you get a lifesteal aura for level 7. The lifesteal should probably be moved up to like level 3, because if you don't have, or maybe even level 1, if you don't have lifesteal, you're going to have some trouble early game. But do remember that if you're receiving experience instead of gold, you're basically going to level up twice as fast, or even more, because if you kill a lot of champions, you're getting a lot of gold, but not a lot of experience normally. But in Bruce's case, you will get a lot of experience anyway. So I think it's a different feeling to the character, because you're going to level up to like, I don't know, level 40 at some point. And you're going to have a level 7 ultimate, and you're going to have maybe level 20 Q, I don't know, something like that. That would be awesome to me. I mean, having a character that builds upon his experience instead of building on items like all of the characters do, to me that's fun. And it seems that that is a nice way to play, and it is a way to kind of mess up the way people play this game, because with Bruce you actually get benefits from a lot more benefits from getting more gold, killing champions, because normally you would get a lot of benefits from it because you get gold, but here you get even more of a benefit. So anyway, that's it. Let's move on. Champion number 5 on the list today is Fox the Phoenix. This was actually the first ID that I had in my mind. And Fox's innate ability says that he cannot die. So never, you never gain gold by killing Fox, because Fox cannot die. Instead, you lose all acquired experience and you walk back to the fountain. And during the time you walk back to the fountain, you are invulnerable, cannot be stunned, cannot be slowed. And so you're going to, instead of losing time by being dead, you're going to lose time based on where you are on the map. If you die in your own base, you're almost instantly back up to the fight. But if you die on the other side of the map in the enemy base, well, I'm saying die, but you get the point. You're actually going to have to walk all the way back, which takes about 30 seconds. Then you have to heal up. Then you have to walk all the way forward. You're still going to keep your items that you bought. You're just going to be level 1 again. You will not have any skills anymore. You will have to pick new skills when you level up. So you level up 6 times faster than other champions, except for Bruce Lee, of course, or Bruce, I called him, the ninja we just saw, because he levels up faster than other champions as well. And yeah, Fox, by leveling up much faster, can do a whole lot more in the early game than other champions can. But if you die, you reset to being early game, while the rest of the champions are going to be in mid game or something like that. So Maybe 6 times faster is a little bit too much, but well, we'll have to see if yeah, if you try this out, it'll balance itself out. I mean, obviously 6 times faster is really incredibly fast, but do remember that higher levels take more experience than lower levels. Anyway, his skills. The Q is just a blind. Oh, this one is based on the Phoenix of Dumbledore from Harry Potter, for those of you who don't know who Fawkes is. And he has the same skills that Fawkes has in Harry Potter. So first of all, the Q is a blind. The W is a cleanse and heal, but it is on a tether, and as long as the tether is not broken by you being stunned or the enemy, no, not the enemy, the champion you're trying to heal running out of range, you're going to continue healing them. And yeah, since you cleanse them and they will be able to walk with you, yeah, you're going to maybe heal them for the full health. And once you reach full health, obviously the tether is broken automatically because there's no healing to be done. Then E is fly to target ally and carry them to base. So you can rescue one of your allies in a certain range, obviously, and you will basically have to move both you and your ally to the fountain, and you're going to get a little speed increase there, movement increase there, but you are going to waste some time for both of you, but you are going to save him, or be able to save him. And the speed increase is going to allow you to get out of harm's way, but you cannot really just walk a little bit and then stop and turn around and do some damage on your enemies again. No, you're going to have to invest all the time to walk back to base. Then the R is an aura, and it drains life and attack damage and ability power, and it gives that to allies. So how that works exactly, I don't know yet, but it should work, or it could work. So it's a really straightforward character, except for the innate ability, and I think it might be really nice to try something like that, because if you have a champion that cannot die but does lose experience, because losing experience, yeah, that really doesn't exist in this game yet, and I think it would make for a bit different, bit of a different feeling to such a character than what you would normally have. Champion number 6 then is Qiang, the engineer. I forgot what it is. It is a name from China somewhere. Just found it. But I made a name with a Q because there's no champion with a Q yet. And with the Q, we would have the complete alphabet. So the innate ability. Oh, by the way, this one is based a little bit on Heimerdinger, because Heimerdinger, even though he is an engineer, he only has one skill that actually, well, would have the flavor of being an engineer, and that's building his turrets. The grenade and the rockets really don't feel as an engineer. But anyway, the innate ability, you start off at level 3. So you gain 2 levels of experience right off the bat. And therefore you can choose 3 skills. And that would mean you have a big advantage in the early game, but you will lose that as the game goes on. Because, well, as I said multiple times already, the experience on higher levels is a lot more, or you need a lot more to go from level 17 to 18 than you would need from level 1 to level 2. So you're going to lose your level advantage as the game progresses, but initially you're going to have a big advantage here. So it is an early game character. So your Q ability then, it places a visible ward with 1100 range. That means it is a normal ward, just like any other wards, green ward that is. But it is visible, so anyone can attack it, and it requires 3 hits to kill it, just like any other ward. But you can use it to, well, just ward your lane, or ward the jungle, ward the enemy jungle. And if you place it in a bush, it is still providing you with a lot of sight. It does provide you with a lot of sight anyway, because before someone can destroy it, he has to walk into the 1100 range. So your W then. Your W can repair a building for 30 to 100% of the maximum HP, or heal an ally for 4 to 20% of their maximum HP. That means that you can actually repair turrets. And even though Heimerdinger can do that, as I said, he doesn't really feel like an engineer, because he heals the turrets for like 5 hit points per second. And turrets have like, I don't know, 1200 hit points. And here you would be able to, obviously this is going to be over time, you're not going to heal the turret instantly, but you're going to be able to fix your turrets and gain back the laning disadvantages you might have had in the early game. So it's a way to come back into the game after losing the early game. Your E places a shield turret, which is a new type of turret. It doesn't shoot like the Heimerdinger turrets do. It basically gives you a shield, so armor magic resist, to all allied champions in the surrounding area. And if you have multiple shield turrets within range, so within the 1200 range, they will connect. They will make kind of a barrier, like Cartus's Wall of Pain, and they will do exactly that. They will slow your enemies down for 20 to 100%, and 100% being a stun, and the stun obviously being a lot slower than, or a lot shorter than the slow. The 20% slow could be for, I don't know, 3 seconds, while the stun is only for 1 second. I don't know, something like that, and you can actually make triangles with it or something like that. I don't know. You can be creative with it. That's the whole point of the character. The shield turrets shouldn't time out. They can of course be destroyed, but they shouldn't time out, just like the Heimerdinger turrets, which means that you can place multiple of them and you can make an area which has these shields up. And I think it would be really nice, because it allows you to prepare the map for well, escape routes and things like that. So, don't know exactly how they should work. I think they should work like I just explained. So you can place like 6 of them, or maybe even more, and they will create shields between them where you can run through but your enemy cannot. And I don't think that's overpowered at all, because they don't attack, and your opponent can always attack your turrets without running into the shields, because, well, they generate shields between them and not around them. So, I don't know, maybe it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I think it would add something really nice to the game. But yeah. Then the ultimate ability. The ultimate ability allows you to rebuild a destroyed turret, either your own or your enemies, and it will rebuild just the normal turret, only it is your turret then if you build it on the opponent's wreckage. The turrets do, well, at level 1 will have normal attack speed but only 50% of the HP. You can of course then heal it with your W once it gets damaged, but your maximum HP is going to be reduced to 50% of the original. Level 2 would have 50% of the original HP, but have 2 times the original attack speed, making him more powerful but more vulnerable as well. And then level 3 would be an invincible turret, so infinite hit points, but instead of infinite hit points it is invincible, so minions will ignore it but they will get attacked by it. and they will just walk past it. So it is not the most efficient way to shield off your lane, but you can use it to hold off the minions in some way. But since they will not attack it, the turret will never be as efficient as the normal turret was. Keep in mind, you can only create one turret on the map, and turrets can only be replaced when the old turret is destroyed. But if you have a level 3 invincible turret, that cannot be destroyed. So you can never rebuild your turret then. So once again, one of these skills where you have to choose whether or not you want to level it up. Do I want to have an invincible turret so that I can maybe place it at the enemy the enemy nexus, so that I can be a little bit safer there, so kind of get a region in which the enemy champions get attacked. But yeah, I will never be able to build another turret, so it's kind of difficult. And yeah, you can destroy your own turrets or attack your own turrets and destroy them, but only the level 1 and 2 turrets. And your allies cannot help you, but your opponents obviously can help you. But you can remove the level 1 and level 2 turrets if you want to replace them. Then turrets do not attack buildings, so placing a turret right next to the nexus of your opponents does not destroy the nexus. Also, placing one next to the inhibitor does not destroy the inhibitor, but it does attack exactly in the same way as the turrets would do with minions and champions. So once a champion would attack you, the focus of the turret will be on that champion. Exactly like the normal turret would behave. Then when killed, so either by you or by your opponents or by some minions, the turrets will give 50 gold to each of your opponents, which means that you have to be careful how many of these turrets you want to place in the course of the game. But I think it makes a really nice mechanic, because it allows you to rebuild turrets in your lane, but it also allows you to build offensive turrets, so kind of pushing the lane but still having the protection of your turret. So anyway, I don't know, maybe people think this is completely stupid, maybe people think this is a really good idea. As I said before, let me know in the comments.